Hey, what's up, guys? Wanted to kind of complete my Texas Chainsaw franchise reviews for now, just because I kind of just wanted to do the main trilogy of them, at least for now, for a while on my channel. I just want to do 1, 2, and 3 because they're my favorite out of all of them. But yeah, this was the Warner Archive Blu-ray release, which I was super hyped for when it was announced. It's probably is my favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre film out of all three, and I know that is blasphemy to a lot of people, but I just love the vibe. I love the color scheme of it. A lot of it is in nighttime, but that cover, the colors is really true to this movie. Um, I really like all the performances in it. I really dig Viggo Mortensen in it, and at this point, he was doing a lot of good horror films. Like I know he was in Prison, and he was in the Psycho remake, which I just reviewed on Body Bags. But I thought he did a good job in all those. But yeah, I really dig his performance here. I wish they would have went a little more into the backstory of really who these people are, because there's kind of some weird stuff with Vigo. He's wearing like nail polish and a woman's apron, so you're not really sure what the deal is with him. And there is a guy, a tow truck driver, who is kind of like the mastermind of them all, and then you're introduced to what would be Leatherface's mother. And then there's even a little girl who's, I would listen to the commentary, it's supposed to be Leatherface's daughter. And basically this, which is really bizarre, but basically it starts off this couple, they're going to Florida and they're passing through Texas, which was actually filmed in California, but they're traveling through Texas and they end up getting abducted, or pretty much ran off the road with Ken Foree, who's the star of this movie. Besides Leatherface, Ken Foree is the star. But they get ran off the road, and basically after that, the main chick gets held captive by the Leatherface clan, and it's really strange when you meet the Leatherface clan. It's like you're not really sure who any of these people are related to Leatherface at first, and the grandpa's there, but he's fully mummified. He's not living at all in this. I like the look of the house. I appreciate the opening scene where Leatherface, you see him stitching together the mask. I like the way that really looks. And the commentary, they said Leatherface in the first and second one, he was like a little kid. But they wanted Leatherface like this one to be like an angsty teenager type thing. Which works and doesn't work. There's some things that are cool, like with his Walkman and stuff. That's really cool. But sometimes it's a little bizarre. But there's this girl you meet like halfway through this movie when they get ran off the road, that she's escaped and she's running, and you find out the mom makes some comments, and I also learned this in the commentary too, that they abduct these women so Leatherface could mate with them and have all these babies to kind of keep new generations of it all going. And then that's what the little girl is, which I thought was really, really interesting. But yeah, this movie really lacked gore and stuff because the MPA really hacked this thing to pieces. It's like really, it looks more intense than what it actually is, kind of like the first one, but there's really not that much mayhem in it. Like you see him chopping this woman up against the tree, but they have to angle it in a way that you don't see anything. Just a lot of stuff. There's like a sledgehammer scene where one dude's hanging upside down like a pig, and sledgehammer falls, and right before it hits his face, it cuts away and all that, which I thought was really lame. But yeah, the movie, I give it it's weird. The first one's like a complete classic, but this one I like better, but it's nowhere near as good of a movie. Like this one feels sloppy. It's not as polished. I mean, the director of this was fired 4 weeks into it of a 6-week shoot and got rehired for the last week, so he had to rush into all this stuff. So, you know, there's a lot of problems behind the scenes with this movie. The commentary gets into all that. It has Jeff Burr. It has R.A. Mihailoff, who plays Leatherface, as the screenwriter, and someone else, I think. And they get really into this and talk about how the screenwriter was working on Nightmare on Elm Street 5 at the same time with this, and how Bob Shea and New Line expected this to be this big cash cow and all that. And they even go into the teaser trailer before this came out, which is one of my favorite teaser trailers of all time in the history of trailers. So the commentary definitely is really cool. And I think that was on the original release, but I like that they ported it over to here. I don't think this has any new features at all, but the fact that it does have features is cool. And it has the making of Leatherface, which is like a 28-minute documentary. That's actually pretty cool. You see everyone in that. Has an alternate ending, which I love the alternate ending way more than the ending of this. Ken Foree doesn't make it in the alternate ending, but it's more eerie, the ending, the alternate one. I wish there was a way to branch that in with this. And then there's theatrical trailers, and the main thing I love about this is Warner Archive took the time to make the teaser trailer HD. And I love that, because every time you see it on YouTube or something, which I've looked it up a lot, oddly enough, really bad quality, but yeah, they upgraded that, which I really appreciated. That's all I needed, was the unrated cut on HD and the trailer in HD, and I'm good. But yeah, I love the release. And now the elephant in the room with this release is there was a lot of talk about, I wouldn't even know what to call the issue. At the dark scenes, there's like a little oval of light, and I looked it up. Every copy has this problem, but if your TV is calibrated correctly, you don't really notice it at all. Because I didn't notice it at all either. And I looked it up, and they said, yeah, every copy does have it. It had something to do with whoever did the transfer. So they say if you lighten up the picture or whatever, you see it. So I went to my TV settings and brightened it all up, and I did see the oval. But like I said, if you have your TV calibrated right and the black levels, everything good, you're not going to notice it. And that's, I guess Warner Archive said that's how it got through their quality control, is they were watching it on calibrated TVs, so they never noticed it, you know. So it's a good disc actually to see if your TV is in calibrated order, because I know my buddy BDG Reviews bought this too, and I asked him if he saw it. He said no. So that means his TV's calibrated correctly. So yeah, if you get this and you have the oval of light, just darken your TV or whatever, and you won't see it anymore, and that's how your TV should have looked in the first place. So definitely recommend picking this up. I think it's like 17 bucks or whatever. Yeah, it's worth it. It's the last true great Texas Chainsaw sequel. I dig the remake. I dig the prequel remake, the beginning. I haven't seen the new Leatherface, but yeah, to me this is the last great sequel. But anyways, guys, peace.